And I think the first thing we'll do, and I have to apologize that we haven't gone into any detailed study of all 12 of the Kihon. We did about half of them where we talked about it and practiced it together. I'm going to grab a stick or two.
Sorry, it's a bit late.
We have some. That's a pretty good one. And no, that top one would be good. But that one, is that better? I feel.
No, grab the
Okay.
That's too long. Grab one of those. Grab that one that's left over.
Okay. All right. But I think what I'm going to do first thing is I'm going to we'll all go through all 12 of the Kihon, some of which you haven't been taught. So who knows all 12 Kihon? Why don't you come up forward, Brian, you two. Don't be a ringer. But so what we'll do is, and yeah, Tony, is want to have these 4 up a little in front so that everybody can kind of see what they're doing. Let's spread out so they're all even. Yes, we have one important thing to do before you're falling off the end of the mat. We need to bring it this way a little bit. Yeah, use the whole dojo. Okay, so make sure you have some wing room on the sides. All right, so the first thing is we're going to begin with our reishiki. So left hand, Joe is standing tai-so yoi. Shomen ni, right? And then here, sage-jo otagai ni, for each other, right? Okay, all right. And scoot down. Make sure when you have somebody that's right in front of you, don't have them right in front of you, so stagger so that you're not going to hit the leader line in the back of the head. And these are, just follow along which ones that we haven't discussed in detail. Honte-uchi, honte-uchi, hajime, hey, going backwards, hey, yame, motoi, okay, gyaku-te ni Kamae, gyaku-te-uchi, hajime, hey, backwards, yame, turn the hands. Notice how far in front, Jessica, not here, out. So, yeah. Hey. There. Motoi. Right. Motoi. Thank you. Makiotoshi ni Kamae. Makiotoshi hajime. Hey. Yame, Toi, honte ni Kamae. 4th one, kashi-zuki, yoi, hajime, hold, straight up and over, hold, backwards, hold, yame, toi, honte ni Kamae. This one is maybe new. Watch your front line carefully. Gyaku-te, yoi, hajime, hold, over the head, hey, and again, hold, hey, going back, Yame. Toy. Straighten the line, please. Okay. Honte-uchi. This one is called makiotoshi. I'm going to roll it back to my shoulder and my ear, the side of my face. Sword is coming here, so I'm pulling this position. Then I'm going to unwind and throw weight into the tip of the stick. And come back to the eyes. Hey? Makiotoshi. Yoi. Hajime. This is A, excuse me. A. One more. Yame. Toy. And we'll just walk back. No backward version on this one. On the next several, actually. Okay. Kuritsuke. Oi. Tips down, fists over the shoulders. Hajime. Hey. 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 Yame. Toy. And we're going to back it up. Straighten the line. Hey. Next one, kuri-hanashi. This one starts here, comes to that position. The gyaku-te in the center of the body, not aimed at your throat, but pushing out from hara. Okay. Kuri-hanashi. Yoi. Hajime. Hey. 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 Yame. Toy. And let's come back. Right. Tai-atari. Same beginning. Scoops up. Thrusts. Comes back, etc. Right? Tai-atari. Pushing with the body. Hajime. Hold. Hold. One more. Hold. Zanshin on the eyes. Yame. Motoi. When it's called yame, turn the hand. Okay? And remember here, this is that center. Feel how weak it's below. It's weak. Raise it up to your center. Oh, now it's in the hara. Very strong. Okay? Motoi. Let's come back. All right. So these next three are a little strange. First one is going to be from this position. I'm guarding from a cut that's coming diagonally into me. So instead the cut comes underneath. I step out of the way and block here. Shoulders are back. I'm going to let this stick raise right up almost along its own axis here. This is Hasso-gamae. Strike down, thrust, reset. Okay? So this is one of the cool ones where you're using this end of the stick, you just switch ends. It's nice. So, ichimonji, shape of a Japanese number 1. Ichimonji ni kamae. Tsuki hazushi yoi. Hajime. Hey. Hey. Thrust, reset. Scoop and block. Change the hands and the hips. Strike down. Thrust. Reset. Catch. Hey. One more. Catch. Change. Hey. Yame. Motoi. Ski hazushi. So the next one is called do barai. This is do, this area. and the sword is coming around this way. So I step back and block with my arms out here, catching the sword on that side. Draw back, you can probably see where this is going. Striking where the sword is, and then coming to the swordsman's eyes. Okay. Honte-uchi, do barai-uchi, yoi, hajime. Eight. And one more. Yame motoi. All right, the last one, we're going to come up to the front. So this one starts from here, and when we did the put away at the end of our kata, 1, 2, we were going here and sheathing the sword. And I was describing this as being a fake opening. It's a trap. So when I do this, I'm ready to pull cue the guy back in the eyes. He makes a false move. I have a big opening over here, right? This is the close of that. So draw back, drop this to your thigh. This is the closing of the kata. Front hand drops to the thigh. The other hand just kind of comes out. It's 90 degrees, side out from the shoulder. Step back, feet together, and bring this across the top of the head. Roll that shoulder out of the way. Big strike back into the center line. All right. And we go backwards on this one. So let's start up at the front. Or the middle, as the case may be. Honte-uchi, tai-atari, hajime, back, and strike. Hack. And maybe one more. Make sure you don't hit the edge of that mat going backwards. Yame koi. Okay, and we're going to do one more on the other side. And that what happens is we're going to, instead of pushing straight to the eyes, we're going to bring our hand in front, push, push. So now we're on the left side. Okay, we do that later in katas all the time. So if your power is on the wrong side, I can switch hands and have a powerful attacking position. But this works the same way. 1, 2, back up and strike to the center. So let's try this. Hidari honte ni kamae. Left side honte kamae. Tai-atari yoi hajime. Oh, sorry. Let's come up here. I'm gonna run out of room in such a hurry. Starting again. Hidari honte ni kamae. Tai-atari yoi hajime. Right? Honte. Back. Don't change the hand. Hand on top. Yeah, good. Yame motoi. So those are the 12 basic strikes all the way through. We do the last one on both sides because it's important. We'll practice that every time usually. Okay, now that we have done this, I'm going to change gears just a little bit. I think we have enough swords for everybody. So if you want, maybe we put the Joes at the back, we'll play with them a little more. Or maybe not. No, let's just everybody grab a sword. We got plenty of Joes. We'll we'll change roles. Do we have 20 sword that you need to defend against? So, is that okay? That may be a little heavy. Yeah, that's a suburito. That's an extra practice, an exercise device. So, yeah, your technique would be really good because you're not going to be able to do it wrong for any extended period of time. All right, so this is supposed to be a sword. I do have some iaito, but I didn't think about bringing them in. The main thing you want to know about the sword is that they really sharpen this area right here, from the tip down to about there. And if you think about one fist, second fist, that region is really it's called a honte-uchi. That is the thing you want to hit with. You want to strike with that area. And some people like to strike with the bottom of it. That makes sure that when you strike here, the rest of your cut is going to occupy that space. So really let's start with how do you hold a sword? So most people, well, I won't say most people. I'm going to say the way I was taught was I'm going to put the back of this V onto the back spine on both hands. Now, if I point my fingers, Aiki people a lot of times you'll have this type of a grip, which is okay. To me, this is testing the alignment of my wrists. If my wrists are on the sides, my hands are on the sides, my fingers are going to point, if I'm honest, in different directions. I want to roll my elbows in, roll my wrists on top, and do you see how there's a little pad of flesh on I have the thumb and I have this pad on the heel over here. That little heel is actually on top of the back of the sword. Okay? So if I cut and my hand stops, it's going to stop cleanly on that. If my hand is a little bit off to the side and I cut, the sword doesn't stop. It just kind of rolls through my grip. So I want to have a solid grip with my whole hand. My wrist bones are on top. And the other hand, the same. They call it shibori. Shibori is wringing out a towel. You know, we wring out a towel like this. Japanese wring by this way. And you can see what that does to my wrist. It pulls the wrist bones in line. Wrist bones need to be in line with the back of the sword. Well, if I lift the sword, this is very difficult, right? I'm going to open my elbows, but when I cut, the elbows come in. And the lats are very powerful muscles. And that actually accelerates the sword here. See my wrist? This is called kuri-te, the cutting hand. Okay? My teacher was very specific that you always should have your hands in cutting hand unless you surrender. So this is cutting hand, this is cutting hand, this is cutting hand, this is cutting hand. If I'm here with my wrist broken over, this is called shi-te, dead hand. If I do this with my wrist back, broken up here, this is called tomei, stopped hand. So if I try to cut someone and I cut with my hand like this sword doesn't get there. That's the cutting grip. And you can see that at full extension of my arm, if I put my arm straight up from the shoulder, put the sword in it, angle the wrist so that the back of the hand is in line with the line of my forearm. And then I walk up to my target. You can see that just coincidentally puts it right, if we're not quite the same height, but it puts at my full arm extension, that's also exactly where the sword is going to strike. So I think maybe someone put a little bit of thought into that at some point. Or as my friend Corey Comsek says, must be a coincidence that's just perfect. So we have this idea of how to grip. So let's hold the sword here in our grip. And remember that elbows are at the time of the cut, they roll in and the hands squeeze just a little bit. And the squeeze comes from these fingers, this forefinger is not pointed. This is an Aiki thing to, and I do this too. When I do Aikido, I have my finger like this, but not when you're holding a weapon. When you're holding a weapon, you want to go ahead and curl that gently. But the bottom finger, the pinky is really holding the sword, and these next two fingers in order squeeze. And that puts it into this cutting grip. Okay, and it locks in. When it does that, it's going to lock in to my center. And I'm going to, there was a question in the last class, how much power do you use when you're cutting? And I said all of it. Well, all of what power? Okay, so it's not just a yes or no question. The power that I'm using is from my body, but it's my grip to move the sword into place, and then my body needs to fall into the end of the sword so that there's a little bit of an impact at the end of this. I don't think the video is available. Maybe you can get it from George Weber, but in 1992 Miyake Sensei came and did a seminar and taught Jodo. At the beginning there is a demonstration of the 12 jodan, the middle set of kata, and she and her partner were okay. They were being nice, long distances, so I don't know if it's not, I don't use that as a reference for the kata, but what I loved about it was her timing. You could feel the weight of the strike, and the sword accelerated at the end. Why did it accelerate? I don't know. I can't do it yet. But I think it had to do with the grip and the step and everything snapping into the target at that last moment. You remember her movement is absolutely beautiful. I remember something she said, and we're going to look at the Kamae next. Okay? So the Kamae, first Kamae is this one called seigan. And my feet are not crossed over. I have a hanmi here. Let's try this. It's a forward. This is the way we do with Jo. Now, the tip of the sword is on the eyes. I'm in cutting wrist, and if I do that and have this here, I want you to feel that it should come from the hara. It shouldn't come from down in the groin or the knees or something like that. It should be here. And this is called seigan, or sometimes jodan kamae. Look down the line. Everybody's sword really ought to be about the same angle because our bodies aren't that relatively to each other. We've got our center here and our eyes here, and our arms rotate the same place. Now, without changing your wrists, I want you to roll up the shoulders. My arms are the same. Now, notice the tip is way up in the air. It's not falling backwards, it's here. This is jodan. Jodan is maybe one fist in front of my forehead. This jodan. Now, if I step forward and bring the sword back to seigan, big arc, notice that the tip is moving because it's rolling forward. That's called a cut. Okay? So what makes it cut is partially my striking movement, my body moving. So I am not pulling down with my arms. I am walking forward and letting my body weight go into the sword, and I'm gripping right at the moment of impact. Okay, so let's do a few of these cuts. So we start in seigan. We're going to come up to jodan. We're going to step forward with the front foot, and we're going to snap the sword into seigan kamae. Don't do it with your arms. Don't do it hard. Just the wrists and the shoulders. And when you do this, I want you to kind of feel your body weight whip out into the end. Okay, you felt with the ropes that you whip the strength forward. You whip the body weight into the sword. Hey, jodan, seigan. Jodan, seigan. Okay, let's back up and take another look. So we've got 2 kamae. Now, if you have seigan and we went rotated up, we have jodan, seigan, gedan is just this. But I want you to notice that my wrist position hasn't changed. So let's come jodan, wrists are forward, seigan, pointing at the eyes, coming from the hara, gedan. And I want you to feel that this hilt is still coming from my center. It's just rotating right on this line. Try doing shihonage that way, where your hands come up and your hands come down. If you take a GoPro camera and you put it right on me, you're going to see my arm doing this a whole bunch when I do Aikido. That's all I'm doing. So it's the same line, up, down, all the way to here. Now, another kamae that we have, we're in this place and we step back here. This is called waki-gamae. Now, this one is maybe a difficult one to visualize, but I want you to see where the edge, the ha, is. It is pointed at my enemy. This is not a surrender position. This is a surrender position. That's a surrender. Look at the wrist. Even here, I'm not in a place where I can, I have to change. I can't attack immediately. Here, I can just turn my hips. We saw the other day how quickly we can turn the hips and make power. So, waki-gamae, edge is pointed at my target. If I bring this up, it becomes jodan. From here, jodan. I'm on the wrong foot. Seigan. Yes. So a lot of times we have jodan on this foot. Well, we're going to cut forward with that, so that's okay. So waki-gamae has this same leg back. If I come up to jodan here and I want to go to seigan, I can step forward. I could also step backwards. Okay, generally we're a little aggressive and go forwards. So these are basic kamae. One more is called Hasso-gamae. And Hasso-gamae is this kamae. Now, this is another one that it's very important to think about. Where is my edge of the sword pointing? If I have this position, my edge is pointing over there. It's not Hasso-gamae. This one is bad. This one's good. I can be at a little angle. Now, if I am just going to stand here, put my left leg forward, I'm going to take this hand, bring it up to the center of my chest, take this hand, and I'm just bending the elbow. Shoulders are relaxed, arms are down. Zot, zot. Put a sword in there. Okay? Zot, zot. Elbows relaxed. They talk about that this arm you should be able to hold an egg without dropping it and without crushing it. And this one, you should hold a piece of paper. It doesn't drop. If somebody pulls the paper out, it's not going to rip it. So your elbows are not crunched. But this idea, look at this angle. It's going to be a little back. Why? Because my mouth is a little further back than the center of my chest. So this hand is a little in front. This one's a little back. And I remember Miyake-sensei told us that this should be a comfortable position. You should be able to walk around your house. It's right across from my mouth. This tsuba. And you should be able to walk around your house like this. So being about, I don't know how old I was. I was a bachelor, 25, 26. So I walked around my house like this. I always got apartments with high ceilings. So this becomes a really natural thing, and it doesn't interfere with my walking. I'm not squeezing, I'm not holding strongly. I'm not doing this one. Miyake-sensei said on people do this, she says, too much samurai movie. So here, When I cut from here, my hands come up, and you notice I squared a little bit into my center here. On this side, I'm actually holding the sword with my center, with my koshi, right? Now I'm holding the sword with my koshi again. When I cut, see, my hands are already in cutting position. I don't have to whip the sword forward. I whip my body forward and cut. You're having a tendency to do that, whipping your elbows and then flicking. It's not a flick, it's the whole body into the sword. So Hasso-gamae. Don't stop in jodan, but go through jodan. Look how big this is, right? Make a big circle with that. Come back to Hasso-gamae. Cut big. So that this cut doesn't come and flick like that. It comes here, and it'll have this arc as it strikes. Your body is what comes forward, right? So the body power is this way. The sword is coming in an arc, and it's designed to cut in an arc. Okay, so this is a basic idea of cutting. Let me think if there are some other great, wonderful, universal constants of swordsmanship. I think that's covered it.